Yolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy with Star Trek Fleet Command. Today in this video I finally want to talk about ship cloaking. That's a legendary ability of Klingon and Romulan ships, of course, and it's a really nice add-on in this game. You get those refits via your faction stores, for example. At the Klingon faction store, you can get it starting from the D3. You see, you can get D3 cloaking shards in the store, and it goes on via the Burrell. They can get cloaking shards, and the D4. It's missing here because I got them for the D4, and so on. You also can get them for the Katinga and later for the Corinar. And with the Romulans it is the same. If you scroll through the store, I got them for the Legionary. That was my first ship that could cloak and I had fun with. For the Centurion, for the Gladius, and for the Augur, and for later ships as well. The Vildor can have it too, and so on. Despite the TV series, well, Scopely changed it a bit because they obviously wanted to have all factions be able to have a little of fun. You also can get cloaking shards for the Enterprise. To have a complete look at the cloaking shards, we have to go to our base, and there to the armory or the ship hangar. I just do it via the armory because my ship hangar is upgrading. And there you have one part called ship cloaking. If you click there, you see all the available cloaking devices for now and the future. So the Sarcophagus can have one as well. The Defiant, of course, can have one. That is like in the series. But a lot of Enterprises can have cloaking shards. And I didn't get so many because I'm usually spending the credits on ship blueprints and not cloaking shards because I want bigger ships. But I do have some from different classes. My lowest class was the Legionary. The next one was the Centurion, and then I got it for the D4. I don't have one for the level of Katinga, Valdor, and Kelvin yet. But the Kelvin cannot have one, but the level, I mean. And I don't have it for the Cerritos or the Sarcophagus. But here you would unlock them. And you see that you need different numbers of shards for them. For the D3, which is an uncommon one, you need 60. That's the good thing with the Valdor as well. It's a uncommon but 4-star ship, but you still only need 60 shards because it is an uncommon ship, and the same with a Corvus or the Voyager, which comes later. And I'm really looking forward to the Voyager, I must say, but I'm not there yet level-wise. And for rare cloaking devices, you need 80 shards, and for the epic ones, you need 120. And as I said, you can get those via the faction stores or via events for certain ships. For the we have, for example, the Amalgam Refinery. There you can get the amalgam cloaking, and there are events where you can get the Sarcophagus cloaking and so on. But what does cloaking do? For this I should go back to the base for a second, because that's very, very helpful from the start. Because if we do this, if we click on the D3 cloaking, cloaking increases weapon damage by 75%. That's the first one. So you do much more damage with your ships when you're cloaked. And it grants invisibility and has a 66% base chance to hide your name and alliance data from enemy battle reports. So when you attack someone cloaked, of course, even if you're cloaked, stay within the rules of engagement, please. Otherwise, you can cause a lot of fuss there and perhaps even cause against your alliance, kill on sight. But it is possible that you are not even detected, that they get a battle report where it says unknown ship or something like this. At least it's not your name and your alliance there. And you can raise this chance by research. That's another nice thing. And this counts for all the different cloaking devices. The Veldor has the same, only that the weapon damage is bigger because it's a 4-star ship. If we go to, let's say, the next level with the Burrell, it has 120% more damage. So it depends on the class of the ship, of course, how much more damage you do with your cloaking shards. But the 75% for the smallest ship already is quite nice. And how do you use your cloaking device? That's definitely something you want to know. So we quickly take one ship. I just took my Centurion now, and I have to take it out of the base. I'll take it out of the base a little bit more. And if I click the ship, on the top you see this eye with a line through it. That is the cloaking device. If I click it, it tells me how long my ship will be cloaked at maximum, because there is a certain duration. You can research it and it gets longer. That's why the number is in yellow, because it changes. The same with the 66% to hide your name and alliance. I haven't researched that much. As you can see, it's still 66%. But that's the two numbers that do change. And 7.5 minutes is already quite nice to be cloaked. And to cloak, you need Tatrions. And they are required to activate cloaking on an eligible ship. The amount you have to pay depends on the ship class. So it's cheaper on the D3 than here on my Centurion already, and it's more expensive on the Veldor and so on. But let's just cloak and have a look what it looks like, because that's nice as well. You see there's even showing. And when you move, then you of course still see your ship, but there is no ship. And the cloaking lasts either this 7.5 minutes. You see on screen that it has a countdown now. But it also has a cooldown time. That's what you see where the eye was before. It has a cooldown time of 8 minutes 12. So you cannot cloak, attack, and immediately cloak again. So this won't work, because the cloaking disappears either when the 7.5 minutes here in my case are over, then the ship uncloaks, or if you attack another target, or like with the amalgam, if you start mining, then you decloak as well. Or with the sarcophagus, that's for territory takeovers important that you come in cloaked, and as soon as you're on the capture node, you will decloak. But as long as you are on the capture node, you already have all the advantages of the sarcophagus while defending on a capture node. So it can easily be destroyed on the way there. But when it's on the capture node, it's harder to destroy it. That's why a cloak can be useful to reach a free capture node without being destroyed. And it also expires when you dock your ship, so when you recall it to the station and it docks, and so when it arrives in the station. But for now, I'm just running down my countdown, but that's another Scopely. We have a lot of crashing at the moment again. And you know that I'm not editing this out of my videos, because I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I want to show you the real game experience here. And I like to play this game, but I will not hide the flaws of this game either. So once again, my ship has a long enough time to be cloaked that it wasn't a problem now. But let's just attack the Packlet Thief and see what happens. So my ship flies there cloaked and attacks, but for the attack it uncloaks. I still have the bonus damage, of course, but the ship is uncloaked now. There's no remaining time or whatever. It uncloaked and it stays uncloaked until I cloak again, and it's still in the cool down. Fortunately, the cool down after my cloaking is not that long, because the run time for my cloaking is taken away from the cool down time then, and so I only have 25 seconds left now. But you have a cooldown time. You cannot, in most cases, immediately recloak after you uncloaked. But you cannot do that often anyway, because it's expensive. But how do you get those Tatrians? And that is on your claim, so the gift section, and then with ship resources. And I just used some, and I don't have the max capacity reached of 200, and so I can claim 65 Tatrians here once a day. And you see now the countdown runs down another 18 hours and 22 minutes. So that's why I say once a day, because you're not awake around the clock. So I usually can claim them once a day, even if it's less than 24 hours. But that's where you get Tatrians for the next time you want to cloak. And it is a nice thing. For example, of course, you can scout other territories without being seen. If you want to be on the raiding side during the Latinum mining events, then you can just sneak on an OPC Devore or Devore Fische cloaked, so they won't jump out, because there are people that are going OPC deliberately and watching their ship the whole time to get the maximum they can get. But you know that you get points for stealing raw Latinum or raw concentrated Latinum. And so you can sneak on them with a cloaked ship and then attack and steal Latinum. So cloaking is a nice thing. And some people, it's the fun thing on Latinum Rush, where you have to mine Latinum, that people think that if they park a battleship or a warship next to their Devore, they can stop attackers and the Devore has time to get out of there. Yeah, they always forget that there's something like ship cloaking. And of course, it's really good for scouting, if you're scouting territories, or if you are hunting ships in incursions without being stopped by bigger ships before you reach the target you've chosen. So having a cloaking device is a really good thing. Also early in the game, on the level of the D3 or the Legionary. The Mayflower doesn't have one, so only D3 and Legionary. But I already used them there for a lot of good purposes. So having a cloaking device is a very nice thing. And if you have something to add, please don't forget to comment. Please also don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell so you won't miss another video. And please like my videos if you really like them. But if you like the videos that much that you want to see another right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.